Okay, good evening ho. Happy Tuesday ho. Welcome ho sa ating program. Ako po si Sonny Laragan, no? Iba na ho ang look ko ngayon. Medyo hindi niyo na ako nakikitang medyo iba na yung look, no? Medyo But anyway, good evening ho. Magandang gabi ho. Welcome ho sa inyong lahat. This is the 30th of March 2021. At welcome ho. Today's the second day, no? Second day of our medyo easing of the restrictions. So welcome dito po sa ating programang Legal Advice Corner. Siyempre, hindi ho ako ang pinaka-star of the show. Ang pinaka-star of the show ay yung ating kaibigan ho na Beauty and Brains. Ayan, nabubulol ako. Excited kasi ako dahil last time nakita ko siya was about a week ago. No? Kukumustahin natin. Alamin natin. Siya ho ang managing partner ho ng Deo Volente Solicitors. Mga kaibigan, let's welcome on the program. Siyempre, yung pinakamamahal nating lahat, ating ka-social virtual bubble ho. Walang iba kundi si Attorney Danna Quinto. Attorney, magandang gabi sa'yo. Ayan. Uy, ano ba yun na? Excited tayo. Oh, grabe, no? Good evening. Magandang gabi.
Magandang gabi. Nakakataba naman ng puso. Kind words mo. Magandang gabi sa lahat ng mga kababayan natin. Whether UK, Europe, US, wherever you are, magandang gabi. Welcome to our remote support bubble na kahit ngayon, unti-unti nang na-ease yung lockdown dito sa UK. Andito pa rin tayo every Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, choosing to be positive, choosing to be happy, choosing to be together, choosing to be a community here. So, happy Tuesday. Welcome back. Mr. Laraga, ano ba yung nagpagupit ka ba? Nawala ata yung bike mo sa likod? Ano bang bago, ha? Ano na nangyayari?
And then, ganun lang ako, may nirequest kasi ni Sol na sabi niya, mag-ahit ka ng konti. So sabi ko, parang nanibago ako parang wala akong no? So yun lang medyo nagbago lang. Nagbago lang, medyo nagpa-ahit ako ng konti. So I'm sure matutuwa. Hindi, nawala yung bike. Ikaw ba, do you do some biking ba? Cycling, attorney?
Hindi, delikado ako sa daan.
Really? Okay. Yeah, okay. So it's more of running lang sa'yo, no? Wala kang bike. I did some biking last, I think during the weekend yata. So, ang hirap yung pagpaakyat. I don't know if you've been to Richmond Park. Napunta ka ba ng Richmond Park? Have you?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Naipasyal ka ba ng mga friends mo? Yung mga friends mo, mga nurses?
Tinutourist tour ko.
Di ba yun nasa yung mga friends mo, nasa Esher ba? Nasa ng friends mo? Nasa, which part of Surrey?
Horsham. Near
Horsham.
Between Horsham and Crawley. Andun sila. Andun yung mga friends ko. Somewhere in Horsham.
Okay. So, teka muna. Crawley? Would Crawley be Sussex? Or is
Sussex na po ata. West Sussex ba?
Sussex. So, Crawley yata. Medyo malapit na dyan sa may airport siguro, no?
Croydon, Gatwick, Croydon.
Gatwick, Croydon. Yeah, okay.
Yung train station doon, East Croydon, East Croydon, and then Little Haven, Gatwick, Little Haven, papuntang Brighton, yung dulo ko yung train na yun is Brighton. Talking about Brighton, malapit. Ganda ng ngayon, ng weather. It seems like spring is really here. 23 degrees, I gather, parang Philippines.
24, I think it went up. I don't know if it's pretty, but today's the highest yata so far, no? Yata. Yesterday was also warm, no? Mga 20, ano ba kahapon? 21? 22 ba? Ano bang kahapon? Pero okay din kahapon, ha? We did some, teka na, kahapon ba? Or, I think, kahapon.
Towards the end, nung umaga po kasi, lahat kami nakabantay kung sunshine na. And wala. I think about 9 o'clock, he was looking very gloomy. But then towards the end of the day, it improved. So, So sa lahat mga nanonood na medyo obsessed po kami sa weather dito.
Yes.
Ito po ang weather report ng Legal Advice Corner.
Eksakto. No, dito kasi minsan pabago-bago Minsan ang ganda-ganda ng umaga, no? Ang ganda ng sikat ng araw. But towards the afternoon naman, papangit ang weather. Meron namang sa umaga, parang kala mo, makalimlim masyado, and then later on, mag-i-improve. Yun ang problema ng weather natin. Hindi ka mukha nung, sa Spain, medyo consistent yan, no? Pag blue skies
Yeah.
yan, mostly to the whole
Right.
day. Kung uulan yan, uulan talaga, no?
That's
So,
right.
teka muna, tingnan natin may mga greetings tayo, attorney, no?
Yeah,
Let's say
good
hello yung
natin.
mga kababol-babol natin dyan, no?
Kababo.
Oo.
Ano, magandang ka-term yan, ah.
Oo, yung mga
Kababol.
kababol natin. Yes, yes, of course. Teka muna. Sino ba yung ating mga friends na unang bumabati sa atin? Let's check-in lang natin, attorney, ha?
Check natin.
Ah, ito, ito yata, pwedeng gustong tumakbo ng valedictorian tong si Miss Panariata. Tama ba yan? Si
Ay, si
Marian.
Miss Banel.
Nababasa mo ba?
Yes.
Attorney, ikaw nga
No.
magbasa. Sige, pakibasa lang.
Hello po, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Danna. Happy Tuesday po at sa lahat ng kababayan. Stay safe and God bless us po. I'm watching from Cheltenham. Marian Galicia po na. Ganda, bago bang profile picture mo?
Bago
May
ba?
bago ang ata. Bago.
Alright.
Bago.
Okay,
Check ang
okay.
attendance. Check a new profile picture. Ganda.
Yes.
Kuya Spring eh.
Oo.
May the colors are very much
Ito yung friend natin
Easter
na
colors.
yes.
Ay, Evelyn.
Ito yung friend natin na mahilig sa ating parang ano ba to? Hindi naman tayo sinisigawan nito, no? Pero natutuwa siya, no? Naka all caps siya. Tingnan
Evelyn,
natin.
malapit na birthday mo. April 3, sir. Advance happy birthday sa'yo, Evelyn. April 3 yata yan. Have I remembered it correctly? April 3 ba?
Because
Sayang.
she was inviting us, attorney,
She's
ganun ba? Kaya
inviting
mo.
us. Right.
Oo nga. O, kailan nga pala? April 3, malapit na, no? Kailan bang Easter Sunday? When is it, attorney? Yung Easter Sunday.
Easter Sunday is April 3, I think. April 3 ata.
April 3 ba ang
Or
Easter
April 4.
Sunday?
April 4 ata ang Easter Sunday.
Ang
Ano
Easter
ba?
Sunday.
Kailangan natin Easter Sunday is April 4
Ayan.
pala. April 3 is, ano ba, Black Saturday sa ating
Black Saturday. So April 3, may ka-birthday siya. Meron akong kaibigan, taga New York. May anak siya rito na oncology doctor sa ano yata,
wow.
sa hindi ko alam
Mount
kung
Vernon?
Portsmouth dito. Sa Portsmouth. Ang tag dito? Yun, April 3 yata, no? She would like me
April 3.
to surprise the daughter, no? Na doktor, nakapangasawa yata rin ng doktor, anesthesiologist yung kanyang
wow.
asawa. Okay, so guys, you can also both tayo, attorney, no? Both Facebook and YouTube tayo.
YouTube,
Ngayon,
yes.
kita mo ito pa, no?
Nag-host din po kami ng birthday parties, celebration.
Exacto, dahil binabati na natin in advance si Evelyn, no?
Evelyn, happy
Attorney, no?
birthday.
Nakita mo yung tsura niya dyan sa Facebook?
Ayan, ganda. It's
Ano
nice.
mas maganda, attorney? Pakisabi nga, saan mas maganda?
Wow.
Yan?
Wow.
Yan?
Pareho maganda.
Ito, saan mas maganda? Yan o ito?
Pareho maganda sa tingin.
Pareho. So, good evening, ha?
Pareho maganda.
Good evening to the birthday celebrant, no? Good evening.
Evelyn. Good evening.
Ayan.
And advance happy birthday. Kasi by next week, wala na. Tapos na yung birthday niya eh. So talagang kailangan.
Yes,
next
oo.
Tuesday, tapos na. Kailangan ngayon natin i-celebrate yan.
Parang yung
So,
dating first
advance
lady.
happy birthday.
Yung first lady natin dati, kilala mo ba si Madam Imelda Marcos, attorney?
Of course, yes.
Of course, yeah. When she celebrates her birthday, mga 1 week yan eh. So parang si Emeline Rafael, no? Pwedeng the whole week. So happy birthday, Emeline, ha? Sana
Happy birthday.
lalo kang gumanda, no? At lalong maging healthy. We wish you the best, no? Mahal na mahal natin yan. Okay.
Exactly.
Ayan, Micah, attorney, pakibasa.
Micah, good evening po. Second time to watch this show. Magiging part na to sa sked ko every week. Wow,
Hey,
thank
thank
you
you,
naman.
Micah.
Well,
Thank you very
thank
much, ha?
you so
Mabuhay,
much.
ha?
Welcome.
Oo.
Kababol.
Teka muna,
Kailan birthday
Micah,
mo?
saan ka nanonood, Micah? Ano sabi mo, attorney?
Kailan birthday niya?
Oh, yes. Kailangan din natin malaman ang birthday mo dahil
Birthday niya.
birthday girl si Emeline on the 3rd, no? Ayan, oo. Hopefully lalo pang lumuwag, no? Emeline, no? Parang nang sa ganun na magkita-kita tayong lahat, no?
April 12 yung susunod na lockdown easing. Yun ang susunod na babantayan natin. I know what you're looking for is June 21 talaga, Mr. Laragan, or the May 1. Pero April 12 yung susunod.
May 17 yata. Attorney, teka muna. Totoo ba na no traveling before June 30? Ganun sinabi ba recently ni Boris Johnson? Di ba? May 27, May 17.
Yeah.
Nadinig mo ba o hindi?
May narinig ako na parang anong daw muna, hinay-hinay muna sa summer holidays. So, it's changing every day.
Oh, right, right, right. Now, because all I know, di ba, unang-una sinabi, pag May 17, pag yung, di ba, like for example, walang increase na infection, hindi yung mga hospitals, walang masyadong, alam mo na, bumababa ang infection, walang masyadong, ano ba tawag dito, yung mga, ano ba, admissions sa hospital ng mga COVID cases, di ba, yun ang mga criteria o yung mga, ano bago ituloy yung ating roadmap, no? Yung roadmap
Yeah.
natin na yesterday, and then the 12th of April, and then the 17th of May, no?
Yeah,
Ayun, may
that's
mga
right.
ganun tayong ano, no? Oo. Ito
Ano
yung
nila,
mga,
parang nire-reserve nila na i-check muna bago daw, na
ganun,
tingnan,
oo.
i-review yung current circumstance before they can deliver kung ano yung sabi nilang roadmap nila. But it's good.
Okay.
Sabi nila, as you said, they'll review. May
Well,
Tigbao Vargas. Good evening, Sir Sonny and Attorney Danna. Happy Tuesday. Watching from Exeter, Devon.
from Devon,
Oh, mas
hi,
mainit
hi.
mas mainit
May.
siguro dyan, May.
Oo.
Mas maganda ang ano.
Kailan ang birthday mo din? Tinatanong ni Attorney Dana.
Kung
Oh,
saan ka galing.
oo.
Location, birthday.
Oo, kasi may ano siya, nasa Exeter na siya. So, kailan ang birthday mo? Para katuwaan lang, alam na natin yung mga birthdays natin.
Natuwa.
Micah, kailan din ang birthday mo? And by the way, Micah, where are you watching from? Di ba?
Exactly.
Sabi mo, second time mo to watch the program. So, magiging part na to ng schedule ko every week. Thank you very much for welcoming us sa inyong mga bahay at tahanan. Okay, uy, medyo ano yata, naligaw yata to si Richie, medyo iba binate yata. Richie, ikaw ba'y nag-dinner na o nag-almusal na, no? Si Attorney Dana to, hindi si Attorney Lira.
Attorney Lira. But okay. Hello din,
Sa,
Attorney Lira.
so, Webes pa yon sa Happy Tuesday po sa ating lahat. Richie, si Attorney Dana Quinto to ang kasama natin. Pagka Tuesday, it's Legal Advice Corner. On a Thursday, it's Immigration Corner. Ayun,
That's
oh.
right.
Okay, si Juliet Marcelino. Sa
Ayan.
YouTube.
YouTube si Juliet with a J. Good evening, Sonny and Attorney Dana. Happy Tuesday, everyone. And stay safe po tayo lahat. Tama, stay safe. Kasi marami pa rin. May mga cases pa rin, Mr. Laragan, actually. May mga
We have
narinig
to.
pa rin kung
We
positive
have
ba.
to, no? Oh, ikaw na-vaccinate ka na, may first dose ka na. Si Emily na-vaccinate na rin. Si Attorney, si ano yata, sa Friday, si Attorney Lira, itong Friday, hindi pa natin, mababalitaan ko pa sa Thursday. Uh, yeah, at ingat pa rin, maski it doesn't give you parang feeling mo invincible ka, no? No, you still have
Yeah.
to, di ba, practice safe, di ba, yung mga measures natin. Mask,
That's right.
distancing, and ano pa ba? Washing your hands. Washing your
Yeah,
hands. So, ayan.
exactly.
Ito si Emeline, mukha yatang hindi siya mapakili, no? Talagang parang yung bati niya ni Emeline. Emeline, oo, kasi binabati natin kasi na happy birthday and perhaps she feels that she needs to greet us all the time, no?
Yeah.
Thomas Brennan, I both jog and bike in Richmond Park 3 times a week. Best time is 6 a.m. with sunrise. Wow. Thomas,
Wow.
nice
Yeah,
tip,
ang galing. 6 a.m. with sunrise. Nakakaano. Nakaka-answer. Nakita mo yung profile picture. Bike
Yeah,
din
bike.
ata yun.
Yeah, but can you do that? Jog and bike at the same time on the same parang ano? Pwede ba?
Pwede siguro.
So you jog first or you bike first? Which do you do first? Because you
Maybe
can
in,
do,
in, inter, yeah.
diba? You couldn't do the jogging and biking all at the same time, no? It's
Right.
it's either you jog first or you bike first. Me, anong hula ko? My guess is I think he bikes first before he jogs. No, because with biking kasi it's easy. With running, you have more effort of yata attorney. Parang
Yeah.
in simple terms, jogging is 3 times the effort of biking. Parang ganyan, no? Parang
Mas,
you've got more effort with jogging than biking. And so probably he starts with the biking. Kasi lalo na if it's going down, well, you don't have to
Yes.
pedal. You don't have to pedal anymore. Di ba? You're
Talagang
just
ano na lang,
coasting down
you
ka na
let,
lang.
you let the
Coast.
momentum get
Oo.
you there.
Get you there, oo. All right.
Oh,
Attorney, ito.
malalaman natin kung saan tayo magkikita-kita sa susunod. Oh, George
Yeah.
Morales, yes! I know George. Batch ko, so, kababata. Hello,
George, how are you? Oh,
From
George.
Marbeles, Coronadal, Mr. Laragan, sa Marbeles, Coronadal.
George, how are you? Nice.
Hello,
What does he do now? What does he do? What does he do?
he's a restaurateur, entrepreneur, and a restaurateur.
Right.
Owning a restaurant, si
Okay.
George.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Thanks,
thank
George,
you so
ha,
much
for,
for
for,
listening. Thanks,
anong oras na
thanks
ba?
George for watching.
Plus 7 hours, so if it's 8
Oh,
p.m.
7 hours.
today,
7 hours
alas
na
tres,
na.
it's
My
3
God,
o'clock in the
George.
morning. Wow, thanks, George, ha.
Gising ka pa, George.
Gising pa si George.
Magandang
George,
umaga, mga gising
mabuhay.
pa na, George.
All right, yes,
Ayan.
mabuhay, George, ha.
And good
Okay.
luck sa business.
Oh, good luck sa business. Saan ang business ni George? Sa mismong Marbel? Sa Coronadal?
Sa
Sa ano?
Canada.
Sa
Sa
Coronadal,
Canada.
oh, okay.
Si Evelyn po, tingnan nyo.
Oo. Ayan, oh.
Punta kayo
She's showing off actually dahil dyan sa ano. Nagsi-show off siya ng ano ng
Nakatawa naman.
na lagi siyang nasa Facebook, sa YouTube I should say. Oh yeah,
Punta
okay,
daw
George.
tayo, Mr. Laragan. It's wonderful
Yes,
to see
pupunta
you.
kami.
Thank you.
Punta kami sa
Punta
pero
tayo.
punta kami pagkatapos ng birthday mo kasi pwede na ba tayo? Safe na ba tayo? Baka bawal pa yata.
Two
Hindi ba?
household lang. Magiging 3 household tayo eh. Pero andun kami virtually. Virtually, andun kami.
I think attorney ano yata you're allowed outside but not inside yata pa. Hindi pa yata ano.
Yeah, you're
You can,
allowed.
all outside, all outdoors. Kailangan
All
you
outdoors.
can meet up outdoors. George Morales says it's wonderful to see you, attorney.
It's wonderful to see you as well, George.
Kailan ang birthday mo, George? No, we're asking everyone to give their birthdays, no. Ayan. Oh, oy, si Kamar, how are you? Happy Tuesday to everyone from Pakistan. So he's back home in Pakistan?
He's back in Pakistan, yes.
Wow. Probably, are there any new, how do you, calf, ano ba yung bagong cow? Pagka-cow, ano ba yung bagong? Ano ba bagong? A calf, di ba? Calf din, di ba? Oh, yan, a bagong cow. Oh, your calf, no?
Baby
Oh,
cow.
you've got some, probably new calves, calves being born, no? So, take care, eh? Kamar, nice to hear from you,
Take care over there. Kasi
And
Pakistan
happy
talaga.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
Uy,
happy Tuesday.
attorney, you wouldn't believe this. But one of the popular singers back home, I think she was a part, if I'm not mistaken, by the minstrels ba, new minstrels or something, no? Ito yung ating she's an OPM singer, one of the popular singers back then. And I remember when I was a DJ, young DJ ba yun? Basta DJ back home in the Philippines, I would be playing her records.
Wow!
Ito si Ivy Villan. Ivy Villan.
Yes, I think, yes,
Ivy Villan.
Ivy.
And she's calling us.
Gabi.
Hi, Ivy. She's actually watching us from Los Angeles, California.
Oh, wow, fantastic. Ang galing. I think they're morning there, no? Or afternoon po?
We are of the same. Pareho tayo. They also have this summertime. They adjust, no? So if it's say, for example, we have a regular 8-hour. Kunyari kung regular, no, yung hindi British summertime, 8 hours in California and us. And then pagka nag-British summertime, then sila din nag-adjust, so 8 hours pa rin. It doesn't change actually. They're ahead yata for one week lang. Parang sila they change. Oh, Ivy, mabuhay ha. That's Miss Ivy Villan, ha. Yung ating singer. Oh, thank you. Ba, sinurprise tayo. This is a welcome surprise, attorney, ha. Hindi ko akalain, no?
Nakaka-proud po kayo.
Oo.
Yeah. Welcome sa support bubble.
Oo, si Ivy Villan. Ako, idol na
Kailan
idol.
birthday nyo?
Kailan birthday mo, Ivy, no? Para ano naman. So, wow, fantastic. Imagine from Los Angeles, California. Di ba, mga nanonood yan. Los Angeles, California, and specify niya, attorney. I'm watching from Los Angeles, California.
Keep safe po kayo sa US.
Oh, blessed day, Sonny and attorney. Okay, from California, we now go to Belgium. Ayan,
balik tayo sa Belgium.
ayan.
Si Darmin. Hello, Darmin. Hello. Kamusta
Darmin.
kayo?
Hello. Yes, ayan. Tapos ito naman si Mark Natal yata. His name is Mark Natal. And he's actually based in, I think, in Hammersmith. Tama, Hammersmith, no? He works for I think, a takeaway. Parang takeaway yata siya, si Mark. Mark Natal, good evening, ha? So,
Good evening, Mark.
from California to Belgium to the UK.
Back to Hammersmith tayo. Madaming Pilipino po sa Hammersmith, ha?
Yes. Marami ring Pilipino sa Hammersmith yata, no? So, ito Sonny siguro pangalan ito. Sonny Silemo, Sitemo. Good evening siguro. Pag ganyan, binaligtad mo yung Inos at Sonny, eh. Kapangalan ko to.
Yeah, Sonny. Kapangalan, katukayo. Katukayo.
Sana, are you really Sonny, Sonny ba talaga pangalan mo? Inos? O ano? Yes, Sonny ba yan? Sonny. Good evening, taga saan ka? Tell us where you're from, no? And May Tigbaw, Attorney May Tigbaw is telling us na her
May
birthday,
22.
May 22,
Ayan.
tapos na. Katatapos lang.
Di ba?
Hindi pa ba? O nga pala. O, naisip ko tuloy, kala ko March 22. Sorry, my apologies. My apologies. Oo nga pala. Oo, yan. Oo.
22 pa.
22 pa pala.
May
May
pa-birthday
22.
dito. Spend your
Ah.
birthday here at Legal Advice Corner.
Oo nga. Oo nga. Oo nga. Oo, yes. Oh, yes. Happy birthday, sa 22nd pa. Okay. Si watching from Kidlington, Oxfordshire, si Mecca Micah, attorney.
Yeah, Kidlington, yeah.
Ayan, oo. Ito, nagising na si Richie Borche. Medyo kanina, nakapagilamos siya ng konti.
Nagluluto siya.
Nagluluto ako. Ayan. Good evening, Thank you, Richie, Oo.
Ano ba niluluto mo, Richie?
Ano ba niluluto? At bigla kang... Oo. Kailan ang birthday? George Morales, attorney, Ito, kailan na? May 29.
May 29.
Marami tayong mga May celebrants,
Birthday ko man din, George. Birthday ko man din. Kailan ba May 29?
Oo, May 29. Okay.
Diba yan?
And of course, the better half of Mr. Edgar Duay, no? Na mukha yatang...
Ay, really?
Hindi ko alam kung nasan siya ngayon. Baka nasa work yata siya, no? Working si Edgar Duay. So, ayan, attorney, yung ating mga bumabati sa atin, the first batch of greeters, ganun ba pagtawag natin, no? Yung ating mga ka-social bubble, virtual social bubble. Good evening sa inyo. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Ayan. Parang nanibago rin ako si attorney. Parang you look a lot, parang, ano ka ba,
darker lang. Lipstick,
Darker ba?
Darker lipstick lang. Yeah,
Oo.
darker lipstick.
Did you lose weight? Ikaw ba pumayat ba o hindi naman?
Hindi naman. Ano pa rin ako kumain.
Malakas pa rin kumain.
Malakas pa rin ako kumain.
Akala ko parang nag-slim yung yung face mo. No? Ako tumaba lumaki
Kulang lang
ako,
ng cookies today, maybe. Kulang ng cookies today. But,
okay.
tanong mo kay Lina, malakas din akong kumuha ng cookies dun sa cookie jar. So.
Okay. Kaya pala. Kaya Okay, teka muna, mag-break tayo, Tony, and then when we come back, we're gonna be, who are we gonna be with? Sino makakasama natin for tonight? Ito, batang-bata ito, makakasama natin, Tony.
Ito talaga batang-bata.
Bago tayo bumalik, parang teaser lang natin. Sino makakasama natin ngayon for tonight?
We had a fantastic time with her last time when she spoke about mental health.
Mental health.
She shared her views, very inspiring story, very inspiring journey. So she's back here again to talk about a day in the life of a trainee solicitor, no other than my colleague and one of my trainee solicitors.
Later on. Yeah, when she comes back. When she comes back. And Alex, if you're watching right now, please watch because this is, since Attorney Danna is your inspiration, this is going to be your first initial inspiration, no? Lina siya, no? But don't go away, guys. We're going to be back. And when we're back, Attorney and I are back, we're going to be with a trainee solicitor with Deo Volente Solicitors of Bedfordshire. Just a moment, we'll be right back. Wag ko kay Alice.
May problema ka ba sa landlord mo? Baka AV ka na ni Kuya. May problema sa mga kapitbahay, sa trabaho. O kaya naman kay Mister o kay Mrs. Away tungkol sa mana, mga may utang, mga aksidente, daing o laban sa ospital or sa NHS, harassment, o baka naman may stalker ka na gusto mong ireklamo. Punta na sa DV Solicitors para matulungan ka pagdating sa mga litigations at iba pang mga legal concerns. DV Solicitors at 2nd floor, Howard House, St. John Street, Bedford, MK42 0DJ. Tumawag sa 01234-350-244 or 01234-225-188 o kaya naman mag-email sa d.quinto@dvsolicitors.com. Visit our website at www.dvsolicitors.com.
During these trying times, we salute the frontliners who are tirelessly caring for all of us against the COVID-19. To all the courageous nurses, doctors, carers, and paramedics at the NHS. Words are not enough to thank you. We at Highlight Express International are here to support you back with a full semester 10% discount when you send your balikbayan boxes to your family in the Philippines. Dahil ang Highlight Express International ay para sa pamilya.
%100% all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galetos.
Mula noon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
Okay. Tuloy-tuloy tayo sa ating program. Attorney, nagkaroon tayo ng konting technical problem, no? Yung aking headsets, hindi ko nawala yung aking monitor. So, I would be parang hindi blind, kundi deaf, no? Habang while doing the show. Anyway, tuloy-tuloy tayo. Balik tayo sa program natin dito po sa Legal Advice Corner. Of course, with Attorney Danna Quinto, no? So maraming bumati sa atin. They told us, gave us our birthdays. Maraming May ang birthday. Attorney, kailan nga uli ang birthday mo?
30th of December po.
Wow.
Rizal Day.
Oo nga.
Yeah.
And you celebrated it
birthday
in
mo
Pakistan,
sila.
di ba?
Yeah.
Birthday ko, July pa ako. July ako. Cancer ako eh. July.
Anong araw po sa
July. 16th of July ako. Sa mid-July ako eh.
Yung best friend ko, si Rancy.
Really?
Yung best friend ko ng college. Hi, Rance!
Rancy.
One time na
Jul-
natin.
July 16, would you remember anything na nangyari sa Pilipinas on July 16, 19, baka bata ka pa, hindi ka pa yata pinapanganak noon eh. 1989 yata o 1990, July 16.
99. Ano po ba nangyari?
Yung
Something to do with the Constitution? O ano po ba
Hindi,
nangyari?
something to do about a natural disaster yata. Is that how you would call it?
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Was it an
July
earthquake?
16. Earthquake.
Was it an
Yes.
earthquake? Yeah.
Oh,
It was
yung
the earthquake,
earthquake.
wasn't it? Yeah, I remember that.
July
I
16.
remember people around me talking about it. Yeah.
Ayan.
July 16.
Baguio was isolated then because of that earthquake.
Yeah.
And there was this hotel in Baguio called Hyatt Terraces na naging
Yeah.
accordion niya para bumagsak lang yun. And the wife of the then, I think, finance minister, if I'm not mistaken, Jaime Laya yata, died, no? At maraming namatay doon. And yung mga roads in Baguio was isolated kasi yung mga roads na paakyat doon, cut off eh.
Yeah.
Hindi makapasok. And all of the corpses, yung mga taong namamatay, nilalat. Have you been to Baguio nga pala?
I have been to Baguio a very long time ago.
Oh, there's a church doon. The Canon, ano ba yung main
Cannon
road?
Road?
No, Canon Road is the one going up eh.
Right? Session Road.
Session
yeah,
Road, yes, exactly. Session Road.
yeah.
Oh, meron kang pwedeng daanan sa gilid na maraming steps going to the church doon sa taas. I forgot the name of the
Right.
church. But doon, yung mga corpses, nilalatag na nila noon. At ang baho-baho ng Baguio nun dahil nga sa wala eh. Hindi sila makaano, no?
Yeah.
Hindi ba
I
ilabas yung
remember
mga
that, yung maraming steps, papunta dun sa may grotto.
sa may
Grotto po ba yun?
grotto, simbahan,
May
grotto,
grotto.
simba, para, oo.
Yeah, I remember
Along
that.
Session Road, di ba? May isang
Yeah.
stairs na cutting through, no? Going up and then going to the church, yan. Oh, so that was the 10th. July 16, hindi ko alam kung 1989 or 1990 yun. Nang nangyari yun. Oh, yung
Naramdaman po
earthquake.
ata natin sa Manila yun eh, yung earthquake.
Okay. Nasa Manila ka pa rin ba nun? Oh, hindi pa. Hindi ka pa pinapanganak.
Hindi, pinanganak na po ako.
Pinanganak ka na ba?
1967 po ako.
Okay.
Pinanganak na po ako. 1967 po.
Yes. Oo, grabe yun. Grabe
I
yung
think I
movement
have-
nun.
I have a little bit of recollection about it.
Okay.
And nakita ko, I think, ang recollection ko po is meron sa bahay namin na parang crack. And everyone kept saying that was from that year, nung nagkalindol. So yeah,
Plus-
I remember that.
Plus, Marikina is in a fault line, di ba?
Fault line. Nasa
fault
Marikina
line.
po kami.
Marikina, nasa
Nasa
fault
fault
line
line
din.
po kami.
Ayun.
That's right.
Okay. Nasa fault line. Anyway, sige. Now, officially, you can introduce our very special guest for tonight, no? A very, brains and beauty rin to. I should say combination of brains and beauty.
Absolutely.
And one of the most, promising lawyers, solicitors
Absolutely.
in the country, no? So, sige. Go.
Absolutely.
Introduce our new, our guest for tonight. No?
Returning co-host.
Returning
guest
co-host, yes.
Returning guest co-host for tonight. Everyone warmed up to her last time because of how she presented a topic about mental health awareness. And she's extremely talented and just a generally very delightful person. So I'm very, very proud to have as a colleague. Without further ado, Miss Lena Shaw.
Hi, Lena.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Well, we're fine. And you are actually at your house right now. And where's this?
This is my mum's office. She works here, and due to COVID, so does Dad because he doesn't go into the office, like into London. So they're both working in this office.
Well, what does your mom do? What is she? Is she an accountant or what does she do?
Yeah,
a
mum's
manager?
an accountant.
Is she?
Yeah.
Really now? And your dad? What does your dad
That was a
do?
good guess, Mr. Laragan. That was a
yeah.
good guess.
Well,
We want to
most-
say, first of all,
Oh no.
yeah,
What,
Dad, go on.
your dad? What does your
My
dad do?
works at Network Rail. He's a project manager there, so I don't actually know what his job entails because he doesn't really tell me much. So
All right. But
Spy
you're
for
trained to be a
network, right?
solicitor. And is there any solicitor in the family?
no, there isn't. I'm the first one.
Really?
My
Oh,
cousin
okay.
is married to a solicitor, but I'm the first one that is doing law.
in your family?
Yeah.
Have you got a brother, a sister? Are you
I've
just
got
the only child?
No, I've got an older sister, and she is an embryologist. She works in IVF treatment, and my brother is currently a supervisor, I believe, at a store. So we've got a mix in this family.
Wow. Somebody in retail and one in embryology in the sciences, embryology, IBF. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Where is that? Is it in
and
the IVF center clinic here in the UK, or is it in one of the hospitals, or is it a private thing, a
It,
private firm?
no, she works in one of the NHS hospitals, and yeah, she seems to be enjoying it.
Oh yes, 'cause, yeah. Seeing people getting pregnant, right? People are wanting to have a child, wanting to have a baby, and here comes your sister. She's an embryo. When you say embryologist, what is it? Somebody who puts the egg and the sperm? How do you go? Cell in a tube? Is it YouTube? Is it YouTube?
I
In
think
a
they
tube?
I think it's in a
In a tube?
I think
Is
it's
that how
in
they
a
call
petri
that?
dish.
Huh?
Petri
I
dish.
think they do it
Petri
in,
dish.
yeah, they do it in one of the dishes,
Uh huh.
but
Petri dish.
I don't really know. And I know she's watching, so I don't want to like say something that's incorrect.
Hi,
So,
Mr. Shaw.
Has she been asked to be the godparent of any of those those successful ones? So for example, they've been wanting to have a
I
child.
don't think
I
It
don't
takes
think
years.
so.
All
I
right.
don't think she's been asked. That is a good question. I'll ask her.
Yeah, yeah. Ask
If
her
she
because
messages me at any point, I'll let you know. But
she
Yeah.
I
might
don't
have
think she's been told or been asked to be a godparent to any of the kids.
no because she's helping. She's helping making babies, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely,
But
she should have the
that's a
first
very
say,
interesting job. Yeah.
first dibs to
All
grant
right.
God's parenthood.
Yeah, yeah, because before we had attorney, we had this because we had a show called SSS, Usapang SSS, Social Security System back home in the
Yeah,
Philippines.
yeah,
So people, we had a show, well, with the late June ratio of the SSS,
yeah.
and yeah, well, there, one of the benefits of having this membership with the SSS is a maternity benefit. So even if you've given birth in the UK and you don't pay a single cent, but since you are a member of the Philippine SSS, you still get some benefits. You get money, and you're
Okay.
entitled to about three births, something like that. I'm not sure. And yeah, you can still claim money. Imagine, if you're a member of the SSS, though you've given birth in the UK, still you're entitled. You can get money.
You're entitled.
Yeah,
Fair
entitled.
enough,
So
yeah.
they were planning on having all of these kids that have received the maternity benefits to create a kiddie corner for all of these kids and let them meet up. All of these people, all of these little kids who were a part or beneficiaries of these.
Okay.
How do you call this? Ano yan? What do you call this?
A benefit. The benefit.
Maternity
The
benefit, I
program.
should say.
Yeah, of the program. Yeah.
Okay, now
Yeah.
let's now talk about you. We were talking about your sister. Now it's gonna be you. So, what made you decide? Why do you want to be a solicitor? And how's the training now? You got your boss here. She's now your right. Exactly.
I'll still see you tomorrow.
I do have my boss here. No, so what got me into law was, I think I said this before, I've always wanted to help people, and science wasn't my forte, and law was, I knew something was always something that is something that everyone's entitled to. And when I was studying law, I got into it more, and I understood why there's law and the background behind it and the theory. And then actually going into it, it's been an interesting journey, because my first job, I was actually in military medical law, and that was really interesting. And then my second job, I was able to have experience in employment law and professional discipline, which is like regulatory law for. So I was working at the Association of Optometrists, and it was more about how the General Optical Council regulates their optometrists, and how like they have their own standard that they have to practice by, same as everyone else. And it was a way of helping them with employment issues and regulatory issues. And then I was, and now I work here in family and litigation. And family's always been something I've always wanted to work in. It's more so because I think I've always had a more of a sympathetic side, and I think family has always been something that I've always wanted to go into, and it's always been very interesting for me personally, especially when trying to get not just the best for the client, but also the best for children when they're involved, and making sure in when it comes down to finances that, you know, there is a fair outcome for both parties, as much as it is about the client, but it's also about equality and fairness for both. And I think that's the main thing that I've always wanted to make sure, that there is some sort of justice in that sense, and the kids' interests are taken into account, and not just the parents, because the children are what matter at the end as well.
Okay, do you know who this is? So we're gonna show her something, Attorney Danna. No, we're gonna show her something. Ito, look at this. It is this you?
Yeah.
That is me.
Oh, this is you, right? Scouted by Fiona Gray, the assistant
Laura,
manager of
sorry.
Dea Valente on LinkedIn. Lena went on to a wild 24 hours as she was called for an interview the next morning. She was offered the legal secretary role at the litigation and family department an hour later. She joined Deo Valente solicitors in the middle of August, and within a small amount of time, she has familiarized herself with all the cases, which allowed things to run smoothly. So, how was it? How did you start? You started when you apply. How was it? How did you know? How was it from then until now? Tell us.
So
Tell us the journey.
I didn't actually apply to Dia Valente. Like it said, Flora found me on LinkedIn, and we exchanged a few messages, arranged an interview, and the next day, it was in the morning, and I had Danna and Flora interviewing me. And the interview went really well. Obviously, I'm here now. But no, it was really good. I had a really good feeling about it. And then an hour after my interview, Flora called me and offered me the job. And it was really good. And like, I think my parents are really happy as well, especially because it was something in family and litigation. It's been in something that I've always wanted to work in. I've had my eye on family, and it was so hard to get into family, and this one just kind of fell into my lap as such. And yeah, my first day, it was good. I think I arrived a bit early, and then I saw Danna, and Danna sat me down, and we had a good conversation for about an hour or so, and she was giving me a brief as to how the department works, how DV works, and she just so comforting on my first day, and just giving me the understanding of the firm and how the department works. And then we had food, which is always the best way. Food is always good. But yeah, and then I think it wasn't too hard to settle in, but I think I did come into the middle of when there was a lot going on, especially with a lot of cases and hearings that were happening. So I was kind of just thrown straight into it, like just straight into thrust of it all. And I think if that hadn't happened, I probably wouldn't be where I am now, being able to handle all the other cases and all the hearings that I've got coming up now, because April is very busy. We've got, I think, 9 hearings in April. So it's very like, it's very full on. If I hadn't been able to handle September, October, November, I don't think I would be able to handle April coming up. Like, it's very, very full on and very busy.
So you came at the right time, because you were in August was the more or less, that's one of those busiest, or at the busiest time of the year. Danna, is it that?
Not necessarily. I think it was a mix of the courts. We were all trying to analyze this, why September to October that year was very busy in family. And we thought it was because they were thinking that perhaps they will get into a winter lockdown. So they were trying to push cases. Remember that we were coming from the first lockdown as well, so the court system had a bit of a backlog. So they were just trying to get through all of those before the year ends, before a possible winter lockdown. We didn't know then. So we were all trying to figure it out why everything was being listed in October and September and October. And we looked at it as a team. Oh, by the way, it's a tradition in my department. We eat on Thursday. And we always eat anyway. We're a foodie department, but we always, just like a Filipino culture, Mr. Laragan, when someone attends your home for the first time, the first thing you do to welcome them is to feed them. So every time there's a first day person, now even in this firm, in my department, it used to be that I take them out on lunch on their first day. So we would have the formal briefing in the morning, and then we would have a more informal briefing during lunchtime. So it's a good way to break the ice, and it's more of actually from my Filipino culture, because for me it's a sign of showing that you care, showing that you welcome someone, that you feed them. So that's very much what happened, and lots of feeding thereafter. So yeah, that's I'm very very grateful to Lena that she was a trooper, and she was up for the challenge. She stepped up, and that's exactly that where she is at the moment as a training solicitor, and how she's handling. We got into this very nice rhythm, an everyday nice rhythm of how we deal with our cases, how we forecast, we look at our hearing board. We kind of like doing that. We kind of like forecasting how busy we're going to get, and optimizing our time and resources ahead of time. So she's a very, very talented and very organized team member, which I'm very, very grateful for her. But we're here to talk about her experience. So, I'm sure she has more to share.
So what does your work entail actually? So yes, they take you in now, for example, or you're now part of Deo Volentes. So what do you do straight away? Do they handle Attorney Danna? Do they handle cases straight away? What is it? Is it more research? Are they the ones who make the first contact with the client, or do you give them guide questions to ask the client, or how is it? How is exactly? So say for example, tell us your first week of work aside from the eating and the lunches.
So just as a reminder, Lena started not as a trainee solicitor. Lena started as part of the admin team, as a legal secretary in the first instance. So she was doing more of the admin side of the job whilst getting her getting warmed up. But very, very quickly, obviously, we know her talent. When I spoke with her, and that's a testament to how quickly we offered the job. The talent is really there. The heart is there. So there's something. She has tons of potential. So we were on the lookout for that one straight away. Very quickly, it really is in the profession. Everyone's after a training contract. So obviously that's the one thing that we're both working on. Straight away, I did say to her, look, this is a firm that does offer a training contract. We don't just promise it; we offer it. But we do need to get to know each other and get to know if it's going to be a good fit in the long run, obviously. So when she started, she's going to hopefully share more about this. She started in the usual, just doing the admin job. And very quickly that progressed to more involved matters. As the main fee earner, as we call it, the main solicitor, the solicitor who has to conduct the case, the general running of the case is still under me, but Lena assists with the running of the case. I have to, as her training principal, as her mentor, I have to sign off on all of the work, but equally the training should be that we should be training for her to be autonomous by the time that she fully qualifies as a solicitor in 2 years' time. So that's something that we have, I believe, a very good balance of making sure that she is learning what she needs to learn, but also seeing her growth as a professional and making sure she is supported and that I'll be able to pass on what my own mentors in the past have given to me, that I'll be able to pass it on to her. So and equally I learned from her as well because she's got very, very good organizational skills. She's very, very, very good with. She's Speedy Gonzalez. I always say she's Speedy Gonzalez.
Wow.
She's quite quick.
Very
She's a
good.
quick learner, Speedy Gonzalez. And the good thing with her is, for some reason, she's able to read my mind. It's a
Wow,
very
that's
good
great.
thing. Um,
Anticipate,
now,
read your mind.
sometimes,
Anticipate the
yeah,
needs.
she's able to read my mind. She still asks for my final approval on the letters. But sometimes I think, especially after a hard day, we're trying to do a briefing. So we're pretty much a teamwork, Mr. Laragan. We're pretty much a team. So both of us knows what's happening in the cases. So I as the main fee earner, would give out the instructions, would give out, this is the strategy for the case. This is what we need to do. You can make contact with the client, and we still get involved. But Lena would within obviously the training parameters would move the case alongside those instructions by the main fee earner. But it's been a fantastic adventure so far. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. You should ask her what her opinion is. But yeah, Lena, what do you think? What are your thoughts? It's your show, the day in the life of a trainee solicitor. So
So,
No,
so for
yeah.
example, when you come to work, what do you start? So, for example, a typical week. Let's start with the first day of the week. So you come to work. So tell us that what you do.
So first thing I do is check my emails. I always check my emails first just to see if anything's come up whilst in the evening that I was off, like not working. Um, as soon as I've checked my emails, I then have a brief with Danna in the mornings, and we run through all the things that I need to do. Um, because would have already checked my emails, I make my own task list, and then I speak to Danna in the brief and say, Danna, this is what I need to do. Is there anything else that you think is urgent or needs priority? Um, and then we go from that. And during the day, I then work on all the tasks that I need to do. Currently, because like I said, April's very busy, I'm working on preparing a lot of hearing bundles. So I'm ahead of the game rather than leaving it last minute. So currently my task list is just preparing bundles and communicating with the other side to say, can we have your contact details to send to the court so they can have it for the hearing, because obviously all the hearings are currently remote, so via Skype or Microsoft Teams. So if you're the applicant or the claimant in a matter, you're the one in charge who has to get all the details. But if you're the respondent, it's not necessarily your job to send the court your details. The applicant or claimant will do it for you. So you just need to make sure all that is done. And then once I'm slowly going through all my tasks, after lunch we'll have another debrief, myself and Danna. And if, for example, something urgently comes up, then Danna will tell me, Lena, you need to work on this. The rest of it can be done tomorrow. And because it's coming up to the end of the month, one of the most important tasks is billing. We definitely need to do all our billing. So Danna and I go through all the cases that I've worked on and see which cases that I need to bill, or see if there's one that we can bill next month. So we make sure that on top of all the other tasks, definitely at the end of the month, we have to raise our invoices and make sure all the billing's done, especially for that month. But yeah, so mornings is check emails, make to-do list, then speak to Danna about my to-do list. And if there's anything in between that I need Danna to approve, I'll go into her office and ask her, Danna, like, is this okay? Can I send this out? So there is still some admin work, but there is a lot more substantial work that's going on in the background as well, because alongside the preparing of bundles, I also have to make sure that I've done my research as well, and I've got everything included from the previous bundle. It's just, there's a lot that goes on.
Wow, you're
the way
learning,
we're
eh?
training the way
Oh,
we're training them is to train them as fully qualified solicitors. So for me, whenever, sort of law of attraction, you treat them as you treat Lena as, an absolutely fully competent solicitor, obviously within the training parameters. That's how we should train. That's the aspiration. So the substantial work is there with our guidance. So it is a lovely balance. It should be a lovely balance of, that monitoring, making sure that we're here, but equally allowing them to grow into their own characters, into their own professional characters, because everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses. And I think I get absolute joy in that process in terms of being a witness to someone's journey. So that's very good. As Lena also said, part of it is planned. We try to plan our weeks ahead, maximizing resources, looking at our weekly or 2-week or 3-week or monthly. But equally with family and litigation, your day will never be the same. A crisis would come up, a new hearing or a new matter would come up, an absolutely urgent matter would come up. That would just mean that your routine work would have to be set aside. And that's part of the adrenaline rush every day. And I'd call Lena and say, come for a brief, we've got something urgent. So that's part of the fun.
So you're having fun? You're having the adrenaline rush as well, Lena? Is it like,
It's an adrenaline rush.
yeah,
It is, but
especially
it
with the cases,
also
the bundles, the
does
preparations?
sometimes. Yeah, but it
Uh-huh.
also does panic me sometimes when we get a hearing notification like a week before. And honestly, I'm just like, no, this is not right because I'm on annual leave the next couple of days, so I need to sort this out today. And sometimes, especially like, for example, there was a client. It was a children matter, and in the afternoon, the day, or like I think it was like a Tuesday afternoon or something, and we received an email and it said there's a court hearing the next day, and I was like, no, hold on, wait, we don't have a court hearing. We need to confirm this. We never received any information. And I went straight to Dana and I said, Dana, I don't know what this is. I don't think we've had any information about it. And Dana was the first one on the phone to book counsel, and I was on the phone to client, and we were just trying to sort it out, only to realize half an hour later they sent it incorrectly. So the panic wasn't very necessary, but in that moment in time, it was very stressful because we were like, we don't have a counsel booked, we don't have anything prepared. And it's just, yes, okay, I know, like sometimes the courts, they themselves are under amount of pressure, but sometimes it does annoy me when they don't give me enough time because I like to be organized, and
Of
I
course,
like
of
to
course,
have
yes.
enough time to
Yes.
prepare.
Uh-huh. All
But
right,
yeah,
all
no,
right.
it's been, and I think this is a COVID, a feature result of COVID, because of the backlog, because of the amount of cases that's going through the system at the moment. So we are experiencing those sort of out of nowhere
Out of nowhere,
listings.
yes, yes.
Yeah, we both we just have to, and as I said to Lee, we sorted it out within 5 to 10 minutes. Then by then they said, "Oh, sorry about that. We saw that incorrectly." So I think, and that's one of the things that we shared to Lena, that it'll be fine. We will be fine. There's always a solution to every problem,
And it
and
comes with
it's
the
our
job,
job.
Things
It
happen
comes with
actually.
job. Yeah,
Things
yeah.
happen
This
unexpectedly.
yeah,
Unexpectedly.
exactly.
So, you were surprised, you were shocked to find that there's a hearing, and you haven't prepared for that, and it turned out it was a wrong
It was
information or
incorrect,
wrong
right?
info
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
sent
it
to
was
you.
incorrect.
But how rattled are you? Do you get to be very very hungry afterwards? So what happens to you afterwards when you're stressed?
What do you mean?
I mean, when somebody's stressed, at the end of after that stress, they get to be hungrier, or more. Is it how do you handle stress? By the way, have you been asked that? In the on the NHS, they ask some of the they if you get promoted to a position, and that you get to be interviewed by a panel, they would ask you, how do you handle stress? Were you ever asked that?
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever been asked that.
All right, okay,
I
okay.
don't think you asked me that either, Dana.
But
I haven't asked you. Should I?
how do you handle stress at work now? How do you handle? Do you sing?
Uh,
Do you go? Do you frequently go to the loo? I don't know. How do you stress? How do you deal with stress
I
at work, for
think
example?
I if it when it's work related stress, I get into this zone where I'm like, no, I need to do this, and I have a bit of a panic for a couple minutes, especially like if it is a hearing that's the next day. But sometimes it's more of the fact that once I've had my little panic for like 2 to 5 minutes, I then go and I speak to Dana. I say, Dana, what like this is what my thought process is. This is what I think the next steps are. But Dana will also tell me what she thinks her next steps are, and then we'll work together trying to figure it out. But it's more so like I think I need that time just to be like, oh no, okay, this is happening. We need to do this, like sort something out now. But my mind is already trying to find the solution. And then I'll speak to Dana and say, Dana, I think this is the solution. And Dana will
Yeah.
come to me and say, we can do this or we can do this. And we figure out what our options are. And I think that's what works well because once I've just stressed a little bit, I calm down and I know what I'm doing. And I'm just like, it's okay. Like, you've done this before. It's fine. You don't need to panic. And I then get back into working and I sort things out and I find the answer and the solution. Or if I can't find it and I've exhausted my resources, I might go back to Dana and say, Dana, I don't think this is correct. Like, I don't think this is working. Or I'll speak to my other colleagues and see, like, in the department and see if they have an answer, if they've ever come across this before, and if they can help me.
Okay. Right. Do you, for example, you're not with with Dana, of course, and I think you were mentioning. I think Dana, you were mentioning training. Is it training? Takes about a couple of years.
2 years, yeah.
2 years.
2
So
years
at
is
the outset, for example, Lena, right now, are you headed towards when you start out, Attorney Dana, when you start out with your training? Do you have? Does it depend on which department you fell under? For example, if it's probably I don't know conveyancing, wills, or whatever, or family and litigation, would that be your training straight away, and perhaps your specialty, throughout your legal career? How does, for example, Lena, for example, she's with you, family and litigation, for example.
yeah.
If she fancied doing wills and whatever, doing something else, is the training that she's having right now a general training, or is it training under litigation and and family?
My in the old days, my old days, it used to be that you have to have a bit of training, a bit of a taste of a few departments. But when I started, really, to be honest, when I started my training, I only just wanted a training contract. But I was already interning and doing legal internship for my training, for my mentor for a year, and I wanted to train under him. I wanted the work that he did, so I was just quite pleased to be training under Mr. Schreiber then at litigation and family. I did towards. I was quite curious about a few areas of law. I did try to learn one or two things along the way. I did spouse visas for a while. I still do them every now and again. However, it's a mix of both. It depends on the firm. Nowadays, you can just train in one area. It depends on the policy of the firm. It depends on your own preference as well. It depends on the market sometimes. And even if after the training, people still retrain and get further experience to do another area of law. I've seen that. I've seen that happen. That they they qualified under, say for example, litigation, but after a couple of years, they started doing commercial property, and they moved on towards a hybrid caseload of commercial property, leases, and litigation. And then they moved on again, and towards the end of their career, they were doing private client or family matter. That happened. So it doesn't it's not a prescriptive that you have to have a few. It totally depends. It depends on depends on your preference, depends on what's been agreed. But if the agreement is you are going to be a training solicitor, there are outcomes that are regulatory board minimum outcomes that the regulatory board, in terms of skill set, in terms of um, what they get under experience, that we have to achieve for a training under the firm. So I think that's the current situation. I heard it's changing again because of this new legis. They've been talking about changing it. So the super exam that's going to happen, I'm not quite familiar just yet with how this is going to pan out, because it hasn't been fully implemented yet. But we're talking about the classic route for a very long time, the training solicitors route. So about 2 years. Depends really on what you agree with your firm.
Okay, well, Lena, are you going to be? You want to be in litigation and family? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I
You
want
are.
I've always wanted to
Is
go
it
into family
challenging?
litigation. It is challenging, and I know a lot of people say that it's very emotional and they don't know how you do it, but I think it's not the emotional part. I just get along with it, and I click very well with family and litigation, and I always have, and I think I definitely want to specialize into family and litigation.
Oh, fantastic! That's nice to hear. But from you, how's Dana as a boss? How is she? How is you? How have you learned a lot so far? How is your training? How has your training gone? Are you proud to be under her?
No, I am. Dana is an amazing person to learn from, not just as a solicitor, because she's an amazing solicitor herself, but it's also the way that Dana is very someone that I can, if I do have a problem, like I can be like, Dana, I don't really, and I can be honest with Dana. I've always been open and honest with Dana in the sense of if I don't think a case is going, like I don't particularly think a case is worth it, I'll tell her, or like if I'll give her my opinion. Um, I think Dana appreciates my honesty sometimes. It does make her laugh when I come out with a few things, but I think it's just the fact that Dana has made me feel like I can be honest with her, and as a boss, that it's always been good that I've found someone who actually like allows me to be open with them, because it's definitely a different experience. My previous boss wasn't so much, but Dana is definitely someone who's allowed me to not just learn from her, but to also just become a friend as well. And it's a really good relationship I think that we have, as both like a mentor but also as a friend. And she's been very like trusting with me as well with a few things, like in the sense of my work, and she allows me to be independent and allows me to write some of the things that I think should go into a letter or a brief or like a case summary. Like there is sometimes that I do like to make little digs at other people, but it's like Dana allows me to do it because she knows that it does help the case, but it also allows me to be like, I need to learn how to make sure that I do it correctly and not just unprofessionally, whereas this way I am doing it professionally in a sense.
So you're learning now, little by little. You're learning. You're being mentored by Dana, and this is the start of a training attorney, no, Dana. No, this is somehow after this, perhaps a 2-year training contract. Is that how you call it? Training contract.
A training contract, correct? Yeah.
Right. So you start by stages, and you mature. Eventually, your understanding, your knowledge of the law would mature, develop, improve, or expand. But the nicest thing about your firm, De Valente, is that Kamar, your boss, treats everyone like a partner, like a business partner. Hey guys, we're in it together, you know. So that's how he feels, and that's how he treats his people. And you are actually are a partner in a way, partner of an ongoing concern, with the objective of helping people by way of your expertise in law. So you're now a part of that. When Danna, when you joined the firm, I think Danna was just a partner, or wasn't she a partner yet, or was she a partner already?
No, Danna was
I was a
partner.
partner. I was already
Okay.
a partner.
Okay, so she was a partner then. Now she's the managing partner. How did you react to it when you found out, when it was, broadcasted to everybody, or announced to everybody that Danna, or we were having some changes in the corporate structure or the company or the law firm. Miss Quinto is now the managing partner. How did you react to it?
I was actually very happy when I found out that Danna was becoming managing partner. Like, I was also a little bit annoyed that Danna didn't tell me or give me some sort of inkling that this was happening, because I was like, Danna, tell me. But
Oh,
no,
I did.
we-
I did tell you I was dropping sort of my guidance that we're going
yeah,
into a full on
yeah.
year.
And Danna kept saying, I want you to be in my position at like at an earlier age, and I want you to be better than me. And I was like, Danna, I don't really know what you're talking about. And then all of a sudden, she's managing partner, and I was like, okay, this is good. It's really good that Danna. I appreciate the change. Like, I'm very happy for Danna herself and the firm. It's a very welcome change, and it's definitely something that we've seen that everyone seems to be getting on board with, and is welcome. Danna definitely deserves it, and I think it's also it just me. I mean, I've jokingly asked Danna, now that she's managing partner, can I qualify earlier? But I'm not allowed. But it's just what I think. No, but it is good that Danna's like got this position now. Like, I am very happy for her.
seeing Danna as she is, being a young, a managing partner, were you in a way inspired? She's young. Danna. If you look at Danna, actually, Danna, I don't know, probably she's one of the youngest solicitors that you'd ever see anywhere. I guess. I don't know if it comes with our race, because Filipinos look very young, a lot younger than their the British, the counterparts. But I'm sure you can feel, like you could sense that Danna looks very young. And that surprises a lot of people, because they're in this very young small bundle, petite as she is. She's says a powerhouse, and she's made it. So are you inspired by what she's done? Like, now you're asking her if you can hasten your training, so or make it quick. But are you inspired by her? Were you inspired, thinking, hey, let's see, she's young, and then she's made it, somehow she's achieved
Yeah.
this stage of her life?
No, I am inspired by Danna's story, and I think it's amazing what she's come through, because obviously she's been in the UK by herself as well. She's managed to overcome not just uni, but have her first job and qualify as a solicitor, and then all of a sudden, like 6 years later, she became a partner, and now she's a managing partner of the firm. Like, her progression has been incredible, and yes, it's been fast, but it's amazing to see how fast it's been. And it's not that she doesn't deserve it, because she absolutely does, but she does inspire me. And yes, at some point I do want to be a partner. Danna keeps telling me she wants me to be a partner before she was ever a partner, but I'm not entirely sure if that will happen. But it is good, and it does inspire me, and it's amazing to have someone who inspires you as your boss, because it's the best way to learn.
Wow, great.
Uh,
Since you're with us tonight, you're a co-host tonight. We have a couple of questions from our viewers. Let's say to go may greetings tayo, no? If you have some greetings here. But I will. What do you call this? Can you have a go at this? I don't know if she can have a go at this, attorney. I'm going to be translating. Let's give it. Can you give this a go? Okay. All right. Here's a
You have a go,
question.
and then I will
And
I
then-
will add bits and bobs, just
Okay.
so that we're still in the realm of SRA regulations.
Okay. Lena, you ready? Here's the first question for you, and then for Danna, for attorney Danna. Okay, I'm gonna. Would you be able to try reading this? Try reading this. The best you can. I know it's a different. It's a Tagalog, but try reading it. The best you can. We'd like to see how you sound.
Okay. Ano po ang dapat gawin kapag ayaw bayaran? Yung utang sa iyo, yung kumare ko po ay umutang. Is that, I don't know how to say that, nigga?
Nang
No,
Nanga?
8K,
no,
8,000,
it's
8,
not.
yeah, 8K, 8,000 pounds. Nang 8K.
Yeah.
8K, yes.
Okay, sa akin at napakahirap pong singlin. Ano pa ang dapat kong gawin?
From
Not
Risa M.
bad.
Wow, you did well done, huh?
That is not
Very
bad at
good, very
all. That
good.
is not bad at all. That is
Okay,
not bad at all.
very good.
So you have to answer now, Lena.
Okay,
this-
can I have the translation?
Translation, yes. What will I do if ano po what will I do if my if if
Shall I yeah.
ikaw na sige, Danna, sige,
Yeah,
try.
okay.
Sige.
Lena, here's a hypothetical question. Let's do a case study. What should Riza is the name of our the hypothetical case name. What do they need to do? Because this is a debt claim. They have a friend who borrowed money, 8,000, as you can probably gather from that, and they're having a hard time getting the monies back. What do they need to do? So, what would you say on this case? What do we normally do in litigation when there's a potential debt claim?
So the first thing I would ask is there any written evidence in regard to the fact that they've given or loaned this £8,000, for example, not just bank statements, but is the other side aware of the fact that this was just a loan and not just a gift? I would also ask, if they've had any communication with their friend, for example, any text messages to say, can you please return this £8,000? And if the friend has acknowledged it and said, I will return it to you. And if I think they say, yeah, I will return it to you, they've acknowledged that actually it is a loan, which is good for us. We would send I think it's a letter before claim, so letter before action, as per our civil procedure rules. It's one of the protocols. And we'd write a letter to the other side, the friend who owes them the money, and say, look, this is our client, this is who we're acting for. And then, we understand that you borrowed £8,000 and, show the evidence of any bank statements to show that they gave the £8,000. And then show any of the communication as well that they've had and say, we know that you've acknowledged the fact that it's a loan, so can you please return the monies to our client by whichever date? And if there's no response from that, we then go into starting our particulars of claim, and we'll do a claim form and send that to court. And once the court has received that, I think it then goes into a hearing. And I think it just goes from there. The other side then give a defense. They may say they haven't returned the £8,000 due to financial worries, or they don't have the money to return it. But it will eventually get to a hearing, and the judge will eventually say, this is what will happen. You need to return the money by X date with interest paid, or there will be some sort of settlement decided by the judge if it's not already agreed by the parties themselves. I think that's all correct, Danna.
Attorney Danna, would you like to add to Attorney Lena's explanation? But she's right. You have to find out if there is any written contract. If it was a gift, and she acknowledges it, it becomes a loan. Actually, it shows that it's a loan, right?
Yeah.
Is that what I
Talk
gather
about
from you?
evidence. Yeah,
Okay,
we talk about
so-
evidence here. I think Lena, absolutely, that's a very good panoramic view of process. We talked about before, the first thing is gather evidence, WhatsApp, contracts. What did you talk about? You go back to the agreement. What was the agreement? How did you agree? When did you agree? When will it be due? How is it going to be paid? And you gather that, you attach that to what we call the letter before claim, introduce ourselves. This is the story, this is the evidence, and this is the action that we want from you, i.e. pay our clients the sum of £8,000. If that doesn't happen, as what Lena said, we proceed with the next stage, suing the other side. We send the claim form off. There will be a chance for defense. Obviously it's the other side's prerogative what their defense are. Just a simple note, just by the fact that, and this might sound cold, that if the other side cannot afford to pay, that is not a defense. That is a mitigating factor. That may be that may be submitted later on, but the question at that stage is, did you or did you not borrow the money, and did you or did you not pay the borrowed money? So that's going to be the issue of the case, and then there will be some allocation. This is a small claims court. This is below £10,000, so this will be a simpler process. There might be a small claims mediation. You will have to exchange documents and witness statements, or send statements and documents to the other side, and then, as Lena said, at some point there will be a hearing where the judge will make a final decision on the thing. So yes, that's a very, very good. I'm very proud to make you proud, Lena. So
Very good, Lena. Very good. Now, the future solicitor, Lena Chef. That's good. That was good. Very good. Very good.
We've done a few bits. I think we've got a few bits at the moment, actually. So
Okay. We're gonna go into greetings first before we call. We have our next question, Lina. No, attorney, some greetings muna tayo. Let's have some greetings here.
go for it.
Marami na to na over na tayo na nasiksikan na tayo ng napakarami. It's gonna be a long read, no?
By the way, Mr. Laragan,
Yes,
talking
yes.
about birthday, it's Lena's
Oh.
birthday on April 19th. I'm sorry, Lena, I just have to. It's
April
Lena's
9th.
birthday on April 19th. So let
Wow.
me see if that is a Tuesday.
Oh, advance happy birthday, Lina.
It's a
huh?
Monday.
It's a
Monday,
Monday.
unfortunately.
All right. Well, happy birthday to you. So April 19 is your birthday.
April 9th. April 9th.
April 12, is April 12 the date when we can dine in or not yet? Dine in restaurants?
Is dining out. So if any
Dining
restaurants
out.
have any outdoor seating, you can sit outside.
Well, like, okay, al fresco, like
It should be good,
outside.
Lena.
Okay.
You wanted the restaurants to be open
Yeah.
then. So that's,
But they're going to be open, except that it just has to be outside, outdoor dining. Okay, fantastic. So happy birthday, advance. Okay.
Thank you.
Si Richie Borsi, attorney, he was mentioning about, di ba kanina earlier, he made a mistake of greeting attorney Lira, no? Nagluluto kasi. Sabi niya, nagluluto po ng attorney Danna, sabi niya, sandali ha. And, let's, right, okay, ito sabi,
don't have a social prompter po eh.
yeah. O nga pala, teka muna, so yung prompter natin, sorry. We'll have to bring up our prompter, no? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ayan, what's his name?
Scotland.
Oh yeah, Scotland. Oh yeah, one of our Jesus. Mabuhay ka, no?
Dexter, Cerezo, Anabe. Hello to everyone from Scotland viewers. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Jesus, no? Ayan, nandiyan si Jesus. Mabuhay ka, no?
Oh my God.
Edgardo Enriquez. Oh yeah, very good friends. Edgardo Enriquez, no?
Edgardo. Happy Tuesday, Edgardo. Good evening,
Oh.
Mr. Laragan and Attorney Danna. Happy Tuesday to everyone. Edgardo
Oh, yeah,
Kahagasian Enriquez.
Oh, Edgar Duwa is here with us, no? Ayan.
Oh, he's back. Magandang gabi, Ma'am Cora.
Oh, binabati si Ma'am Cora. Ayan,
Cora
okay.
Cartola.
Ayan.
There we are. Yes.
Si Ma'am
to
Cora,
Sir Sonny.
yan.
Yeah. Ma'am Cora, hello to all, Sir Sonny, Attorney Danna, and all. Masayang Martes. That means Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, Ma'am Cora. Hope you're
Happy
well.
Tuesday, Ma'am Cora, no? Mabuhay ka, ha? Happy Tuesday. Okay. Si Sol bumabate from YouTube, no?
Yeah.
Ayan. Hello din, kay Sol.
Hello. Si Sol ba yan? Hello, Sol.
Yes. Babati rin siya, no? Si Ma'am Cora, Masayang Martes, Edgar and family. Tinagalog na niya, no? Masayang Martes. Now, I think Lina's learning some Tagalog words. Masaya means happy, no? Lina. Masaya means happy. So masayang Tuesday or Martes, that's happy Thursday, Tuesday, should I say. Juliet Alviedo Marcelino says, good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday. It's Darmin. Darmin is showing
Oh,
off sa
wow.
YouTube. Sabi niya, good evening, everyone.
Ganda
From
naman ng
Darmin.
profile.
Oh, ito.
Ganda ng
Okay.
profile ah.
Yes. So, heart na D, no? Ed Duay says, hi, Lina S. Sino si Lina S? Good to have you back. Sino si Lina S? So, right. Uy.
Selena, Mr. Laragan. Lina is
Selena. Hi, Lina S. Sorry. Good to have you back. Mabuhay ka. Selena nga. Lina. So, Ed is greeting you. Edgar Dua is greeting you, Lina. Good to have you back, he says. Mabuhay ka.
Buhay ka.
So,
and
long live,
live.
no?
Long live.
Parina Petroda. Yes, I'm watching. Parina Petroda. Does
That's
anyone
my
know?
sister.
Oh, hi,
Hi,
Parina.
Marina.
The embryologist.
Hi, Ella.
The
Yeah.
embryologist.
Yeah,
How are you? Hi,
Hi,
Parina.
And Ella. Ella, isn't it? Ella.
Yeah, Ella.
Ella's the
Parina.
niece. Very
All right. She's your older sister, right?
Yeah.
Parina. Okay. Hi, Parina. Good evening. Good evening. Thanks for watching. Your sister is in good hands. She's with us. Cora Carsola. Hello, attorney. Attorney Lima. Lina Shah.
Lina
Okay.
Shah.
She's greeting. She's greeting Attorney Lina Shah. Oh, she's calling you now an attorney. Attorney Lina Shah. It's nice to see you there with Sir Sonny and Attorney. Mukhang kayong lahat kayo mukhang na ano yata. What's okay. Rudy Librojo or Librojo. Happy Tuesday, Attorney Lovely Danna. Okay, Sir Sonny, special guest Miss Lina, and to all the kababayans from Belfast. Ayun. Oy, correction daw. Sabi ni Ma'am Cora, say, correction please, Lina Shah. Okay.
Na-type ko lang.
I don't know. Edgar says, ganda ng necklace mo, Attorney DQ. Absolute simplicity. And simplicity is beauty, no? Yeah, he's complimenting your necklace, no? Lady Grace Legaspi Damiles, akala ko Pinoy. Hindi Pinoy si Lina siya. Ano to? Where's your family originally from, Lina?
My family, I was telling Dana this the other day actually. So my mom is from Kenya. She was born and brought up in Kenya. She came here to study, and my dad was born and brought up in Uganda, but then came over here. I think his whole family came over here as part of refugees, and since then they're married and got together, and now all three of us kids are here and in the UK.
Wow! So they speak different languages. One is Ugandan and the other one is Kenyan.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Okay.
obviously, my grandparents are we're all of Indian descent. But it was just the fact that mum's from Kenya, dad's from Uganda.
I'm right, originally from India, but although they are from Uganda and Kenya, but your grandparents are both from India, right?
Yeah.
Yes, from India. Okay. Yes. But does your dad speak Ugandan or Indian?
No. He speaks Gujarati, which is what we speak at home.
Okay.
Mum speaks, I think, a bit of Swahili. I'm not entirely sure if she's still quite fluent in that. But I know when we've been to Kenya, she does still speak Swahili to some of the people there. So she understands it. I'm not entirely sure if she's still fluent, but Mum speaks Gujarati and Swahili as well as English.
All right. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. Dana here
Shout
speaks.
out to,
Go ahead, Dana. Yes, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you to Mrs. Shaw for all the cookies and the muffins that
All right. Okay. Mr. Shah, yes.
Mrs. Shaw, we are deeply grateful.
Mr.
I love
Shah.
her.
You said Mr. Shah, attorney?
Mrs. Shaw.
Mrs.
Shaw.
I thought your dad's a good baker, because you know how to cook,
Mrs.
bake.
Shaw.
Yeah, right.
Mrs.
Cookies
Shaw.
and everything. Yeah. The last time out when you were here, when we interviewed you, you were mentioning about baking. I think baking is something one of your hobbies.
Last time you told me to try and make blueberry muffins, which I did
Did you? Wow,
My
it's
brother
my
and I
favorite. Yes.
tried to. Yeah,
Wow.
we've
So how
had
was it?
3 attempts, and our last attempt was really good with
Oh, that's
blueberry
great. So
muffins.
you
It was
finally
good.
got it on the third attempt.
Okay.
All right.
I just wanted to be
Fantastic.
the
Yeah, so it's my favorite. It's
Yes.
my favorite of mine. If you go to the coffee shops, they've got blueberry muffins, right?
Yeah.
So fantastic. Well done. Well done. Well done. Okay, let's continue on with some of the greetings here. All right. Edgar Duay. Lina, Sha, you got the lawyer. You got that lawyer already? Keep it up. Well, you've got this. You're like a lawyer now. Okay. Keep it up. More power. Keep your feet on the ground, and God bless you always. All right.
Oh, thank you.
That's nice, Edgar.
Yes, Attorney Danna must be a very great mentor. Ayun. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
thank you,
Oo
Ma'am
nga,
Cora.
mahusay. Is she a good mentor, Lina? Edgar Dua says, well, palakpakan, no? Palakpakan para kay Lina. Irene Dua is making some dito palakpak, no? Oo. Advance happy birthday din because it's your birthday on the, is it the 19th, right? 19th, right? Your birthday?
19th.
Oh, so
Lagi.
Edgar says, advance happy birthday.
Oh,
Maligayang
thank
kaarawan, no?
you.
All right, yes. Wendy Lopez Allen says, good evening from Doncaster, South Yorkshire, UK.
Wow.
Oh, hi, good evening, Wendy. Thanks for watching from Doncaster. There's a Doncaster on the other side, I think. I don't know, Doncaster is up north.
Yeah, there's another
Okay.
one. Yeah, I think so as well.
Just BL says, watching from Plymouth.
Yes, Auntie John's. Yes,
Jazz.
that's my auntie. Yeah.
Oh, kumusta? Kumusta? Si Auntie Jazz
Kumusta
ba?
po?
Auntie Jazz. Oo. Kumusta?
Watching from Plymouth.
Ayan. Oo, okay. Right. We have, kasi Richie Borsa says he was cooking yata, preparing yung pork binagoongan po. Ayan.
Sarap.
And I don't know if you missed this, Nathan Pri. Hello po to all. Tagalog. Pero parang
That's
kala ko,
new. That's new.
Nathan Pri. I thought he
Nathan
sounded
Pri.
like an Indian or she an Indian. I don't know if he or she.
Hello po.
Hello po
but
to
there's
all.
Po. Yeah, po.
Oo,
eh.
wait po. Oo.
Hello po.
Oh, George
24.
Morales' birthday is on May 29th.
Nice, yeah. Thanks, happy
Oo.
birthday, George.
Ayan. You were mentioning earlier, Lina, that either you asked, when we had the first question, that question, you said you had to find out first if there's a written agreement. If you have to find out if it was a gift or a loan, and if if he acknowledges or she acknowledges that it's a loan, then then it's a loan. But if not, what is it? Is it a gift? We have the next question here. Our next question says. Here it is. Okay, let's just have a look. Okay. Oh, we missed our second question. All right, where is our second question? Okay. Well, the second question is okay. It's gone. It's not here. But anyway, the second question is this: they were lovers before. If I have to translate it straight away, they were lovers before, and they broke up because the girl found out that the guy had an affair with her best friend. And so she separated, but she was given a gift, a ring as a gift during the time that they were still, together and lovers. Now that they're separated, I think the guy is trying to get the ring back. Is it not? Her question is it not a gift? Can he still claim it back? If it was given to her as a gift during the time that there were things were still okay. Now that when things went sour, he's trying to get back the ring. Can he get it back?
Something similar.
Can the boyfriend get it back? Can she not? Can she hang on to it and not give it? Hey, you gave it to me before as a gift.
I would argue that it is a gift and that she wouldn't need to return it, only because he's only asking for it back because the relationship is no longer there. I would look at the time as to when he gave the gift, but they were obviously still together. Well, the ring, obviously still together. Was it for a special occasion, for example, her birthday, or an anniversary, or Christmas? And that would suggest that it's a gift. I don't think that he has means to particularly ask for it back, unless, for example, the gift itself was holds sentimental value to him. For example, it's an heirloom, a family heirloom, or it was passed down. But if it was generally a birthday gift or Christmas gift, I would argue that it's still a gift and he wouldn't need to return it.
Attorney,
That's
what do
my
you think?
opinion.
Yeah. Oh,
And
okay. Yeah. What do you think? What
that's
do you think?
absolutely right. Yeah, that's absolutely right. You have to go back at the start of the event when that property passed on. You can't just say, well, I'm changing that now because I'm upset. At that time, if it was given as a gift, it is a gift. We can't change that. That's the reality. Even if it is an heirloom, if you've given it, that's the magic word. If you had given it, then that would be the likely status of that property. If you are intending it to be a loan, like a loan that you're just loaning that ring to her, then our question would be, why didn't you say so? Why didn't you text her and say, hang on to this, would you? I'm going to have it back at some point in the future. Or if you break up with me, I'm going to have it back. So we always go back. We have to put aside the feelings. We always go back to what was agreed at the time of when the property passed on. So if it was a gift, it was a gift. If you said that, look, I'm just lending you this ring so that you could, sa atin, Mr. Laragan, yung mga pawn shop, ano? Yung mga pawn shop, so you can give a collateral. So you can say, oh, I'm borrowing, have my ring, and so you can get a bit of money, you can pay me back my money at some point, and you can get from the pawn shop. So that makes sense. You have to look at the conduct of the parties and what was the intention of the parties at that time. Not the intention of parties later on, because that could change. And the problem is, and one of our other mentors said this, is that half the time, the intention is not clear. So the moral of the story is that if you are intending something else, make it clear. If you're intending it to be a gift, make it clear as well. If you're intending it to be something else, make it very, very clear.
Right. But generally, the guy cannot get it back because it would be awkward if you give it, say, for example, the girl would ask the guy, hey, can we just put this in writing? You're giving a gift to me. It would be quite awkward, right? So I don't think most of the
it's the otherwise. If you are intending it to be a loan, put it in writing. The question is, if you
but if it's a loan, for example, hey, sweetheart, I want to.
That's the question. Yeah, if you were, my question to the other side, if indeed you were telling it to be a loan, you wanted it back if you break up, you should have put that in writing.
If he cannot prove that, then it's a gift, a total gift.
There's nothing dissimilar. Hindi siya ganun ka. It's not dissimilar to a cohabitation and a prenuptial agreement. A prenuptial agreement says exactly like that. That this property, whilst we share it now, you may have some use of it, but this is going to be fine if we break up. That's a cohabitation agreement. A cohabitation agreement says it's an awkward conversation. It's like you said. What cohabitation agreement actually says is that all the gifts will remain gifts. Everything that is intended not to be a gift will remain in the property of that owner whose name it is under. So it's very clear that you made that agreement, that even if you're asking that you're spending your holidays at your holiday home, say in Portugal, that doesn't mean that you've given that holiday home to that person. It just means that you like them, you allow them to use that, but that's still yours if the relationship breaks down. You may say that, look, you can borrow my car, but if the relationship breaks down, that is still a separate property according to cohabitation agreement. So if you want to put it in that context, that's how it is. So in a similar context as a ring, if you really intended it to be just for that use during the relationship, and you get it back at the end, then the question to you is, why did you not put it in writing?
Okay, well, the last question we have, ayan, malinaw na ho, no? In-explain the attorney. Okay, last question is, I think from Edgar Duway, no? Uh, it's for Lina, Lina, this is for Lina. Okay, Lina, yeah. Can you read the question? Can you read it?
Is being a lawyer your first career choice? What can you advise to any young students who sometimes still don't know?
No,
Yeah,
no,
law
let me
was
just continue
always.
on. Who sometimes don't know what career path they want to choose, even they are already on their A levels or GCSE.
First, to answer his first question, yes, law was always what I wanted to go into. Um, I was just kind of set on it since GCSEs. In relation to those who don't know, it's okay to not know. Don't panic if you don't know. Um, Everyone gets into this boat where they don't know. Don't think everyone's got their whole life planned out and they know what they're doing. Everyone learns through life. Um, so don't stress if you don't know, because it's okay to not know. I would say find something that you enjoy. First, find something that you actually enjoy and you feel like it's something that you can go ahead. For example, if you really like the subject of English, maybe you will want to continue learning about English or English literature or English language, either one of them. And you may either decide that you want to become a writer from that point, or you might decide that you want to become an English teacher. It it all depends on you figuring out what you love, what you like, what you think you could see yourself doing. But also, don't worry if your mind changes, because at the end of the day, you're still young. You're only 15, 16, or 17, 18. You don't need to decide your life there and then. It's okay to not know. Just try and figure out what it is that you like, and if you think you can study it during A levels, then go and see. If you want to go down the uni path, you might not want to do uni. You might want to go straight into work or do an apprenticeship. There's so many different routes out there, so don't think that you only have to do one route. Everyone's path is different, so just make sure you figure out what it is first that you like before you decide on your career path, because I think that's very important first.
You know, I like her answers, Attorney Danna. She seems to
Yeah.
be. She's like you could either have a career in broadcasting, perhaps being giving advice to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, very very charming, very nice advice, very nice answers, and I think people would love you to have you as a friend, especially for their daughters, for their for their children, because you come across some when you give them advice, you seem to be very people. I think it's just very believable when you give her advice. So thank you for
He's
that.
very competent as well.
Yeah,
He's
very
very
very.
competent. And there is substance to that to that confidence. That it's very balanced. That's it's a balanced advice, and she's
Very good, very
Lynn is
good.
very wise for she has that perspective, a very uh, quite a very balanced perspective about things, which I truly admire about her. And that honesty and that frankness, um, there's talent in there. There's definitely talent in there. And I'm very, very excited to be a witness of her growth. And I always say to her, look, my aspiration as your mentor is that, and I know it will happen, is that you will be better than me. Because that is the job. My job is for you not to have my bad habits or my things that I may or may not my shortcomings, and it's my job to make sure that you are better than me.
Wow, what can you say to that, Lena? An
there's
assurance from
nothing
your
really
boss,
to
she's,
yeah.
through the years, she's made not really mistakes, but now she's distilled, her knowledge, her distilled knowledge is the one she's imparting to you. So minus, so instead of taking the long route, you're taking the shortcut in a way because she's telling you the best bits, giving you the best bits that she's learned. Well, well, before we let you go, have you got anything you'd like to add, say, or shout outs, Lena?
I
Being
think
our
my
very
mum's
special guest for
watching.
tonight. Oh, your mom. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
Do,
I think
do the
mum's
shout out, Shea,
watching.
please.
So she just messaged. She was like, "Ella got a shout out." So I'm saying hi to mum and dad. I don't really have any other questions, but if anyone has questions in regard to what life is like as a trainee, like anything else, or if anyone just wants to know what uni is like when you're studying law or anything, then I'm available to contact. But I don't really have anything else to say. Thank you, both of you, for having me on the show again. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.
Well,
Much
thank you
love
too.
to
Thank
it,
you
yeah.
for making our
Thank you.
Tuesday night happy and special. And thank you because you would serve as an inspiration to those young people out there watching and who might be, thinking on what to take up in the future. And you're like the perfect model example of somebody who's aspiring to be a lawyer. So thank you very much, Lena. Hope this is not the second and the last time we're going to be having you on the show. So we're going to have you again in future as you gain more knowledge, as you become an expert in the field of law. So thank you very much. Take care. Give my regards to your sister who's an embryologist. And what's her name? Pareti? What's her name?
Karina.
Arena.
Purina. Good evening, Mrs. Shah. Thank you for the cookies in future, and Mr. Shah, of course. Good evening to you.
Mr. Shah.
Maraming salamat. Long live. So thank you, Lina, and we see you again in future. So salamat. Ayan, si Lina, ladies and gentlemen,
Bye.
Lina Shah. Ayan, trainee solicitor. Wow, very very young attorney, ha? Ang galing
She's
naman.
young. She's talented. And
She's very good, eh?
It's good, and you know what? And she's the mentorship. We sometimes believe that we mentors give something to add value to other people, but actually, the reality is, tayo din nakakakuha ng, ng joy, ng inspiration from the mentees, the people who stay too. They come out with different perspective, and I've been very very inspired and been very delighted by this working relationship. So I'm quite proud to bring her along, and
Yeah.
she's going to develop uh, in her own character, and that's what we want. You don't necessarily want to impose, what you just want. Just like any parents, maybe, you want your children to grow up and be who they want to be and be the best of who they can be.
Yes.
Much better than
Yes.
you.
But
Much
it-
better than you.
Not,
Don't have
not really, but okay lang. To be as good and better it would be fine if they're better than you, no. Pero that's good to have inspired them, and if they grow to greater heights, develop to greater heights, then it's you are the reason why they have grown. In to that extent, no. So maraming salamat. Mabuhay ka talaga. Grabe ang ano, no. Well, you make us so proud then, attorney, because imagine you are mentoring this ito mga young lawyers, no, and eventually these are your colleagues now, your partners, as Kamar would say, no, he treats everybody a partner because you are all in this, each one is a partner. So it's nice. We're so proud that you're there at the helm of Deo Valente Solicitors, mentoring everybody, not only her, but I'm sure, how many people, how many staff, ilang people ba are there?
about 30-ish.
30-ish. Imagine mo, 30-ish na tao under you. No? And Pilipina yung may hawak dyan. So we're so proud of you. At you've had some other guests, diba? They were talking about wills, sino pa ba yan? Conveyancing, and then of course Lina, we had Lina before when we were talking about mental health, no? So these people are under you, di ba? Nasa ilalim mo yan, no? Nasa ano mo. So nakakatuwa naman, no? We can also have again those ano, yung mga wheels and so conveyancing, no? Parang
we'll
in
have
future.
more people, yeah.
Oh, let's have more people in future. But just let us know para I'm sure yung ating mga kababayan will benefit from this yung ating ano no pag yung mga ating tinuturo sa kanila or in-explain sa kanila about all the aspects of law. So, attorney, baka meron kang gustong idagdag. We have it's 9:56 no. Meron ka ba bang nais idagdag? At how do they find you nga pala, no? Paano if they need, more, if they want to instruct you, perhaps for, siyempre, tiwalang-tiwala sila, Pilipina, no? Kababayan natin, ang nasa ituktok ho ng Deo Volente Solicitors. Ayan. How do they get in touch with you? Ito, may telephone number ka dito, attorney, no?
Yeah, telephone number is 01234-225-1884 and the email is d.quinto@bvsolicitors.com. So do email or call us and we can arrange a chat. We can correspond by email. And we do give free 30-minute consultation. So, let us know and we'll see how we can assist.
Ayan, okay. Nakapagpaalam ka na, attorney?
Ay, hindi pa. I just want to say thank you. Hindi pa. At maligayang kaarawan, Emmeline Rofel. we won't end the show without saying happy birthday, advance happy birthday to you. And dun sa anak ng kaibigan niyo po sa Portsmouth ba yun? Or Plymouth? Or Exmouth ba yun? Yung doktor na anak ng
yes.
kaibigan niya.
Pareho din ang day. April 3 din. Birthday din, hindi ko pa alam ang pangalan. Alam ko yung nanay, si Dali, no? Pero may anak daw siya na nurse, doctor dito, oncologist, no? When you say oncologist, that's a cancer specialist, no? Oo.
Well, I just want to say, and thank you, Mr. Laragan, talking about mentor. Thank you for being a mentor to me as well dito sa radio show na to, sa Legal Advice Corner. I just want to say thank you. Maraming salamat po for everything that you have done for me. So, let's end with that.
We want to thank you. We want to thank you. The feeling is mutual, no? We're so honored kasi having you on the show and doing your show, no? Dahil sa'yo naman talaga to, no? And giving this itong ating public service sa ating mga kababayan and guiding them through yung mga intricacies dito ng law dito sa United Kingdom. And we're so proud because somehow ikaw ang kauna-unahang abogada na Pinay doing this, 'di ba? In the history of sabihin na nating broadcasting dito sa United Kingdom, pwede na nating masabi na ikaw talaga unang-una, no? Na talagang unang-una talaga. Talking about this, giving this public service, and the Filipinos have arrived here since siguro mga late 60s, early 70s. No, and yet we never ever had something like this before, no. So thank you too, sayo, no. And I'm sure a lot of our kababayans agree with me and are with me in thanking you, no. So for being a part of this show, especially now, no. Parang itong lockdowns and everything, so nagkaroon tayo ng social bubble natin, virtual bubble.
Sports bubble, mga kabubble.
Kabubble natin, and these are sa Pilipinas may bubble na pala ngayon, di ba? May bubble, Metro Manila bubble. Yung mga Pampanga, ganyan, no? Di ba? Bulacan. So, ayan lang. We want to thank you. Maraming salamat. Gusto ko lang i-second demotion ka, attorney, doon sa iyong pagbati na happy birthday kay Emmeline Rafael, no? Dahil, alam mo, maski paano, andiyan yan. And we love these people because they are consistently nandiyan sa atin, kaibigan natin, kasama natin. Ka-social virtual bubble natin, virtual social bubble natin. Thank you. So, sa ngalan ho ni Attorney Danna Quinto, no, at ni Lina siya na naging guest natin for tonight, no, isang trainee solicitor ho sa Deo Volente Solicitors, ang legal firm ho ni Attorney Danna Quinto. Ito po si Sonny Laragan nagsasabing thank you ho sa inyong walang sawang pagsubaybay. Let's make Tuesday again next Tuesday, another happy Tuesday. So, kita-kita tayo din. Ingat-ingat lo. Take care. God bless and stay healthy and safe. Good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.